Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a really lovely day. My name's Eva and I want to thank you guys for joining me in this video. When I first had the idea to come over and sit down and record, what was coming through was a sort of energy boost, like an assistance with clearing out fatigue. There's been a lot going on, and just if you're intending to clear at this time, the energies are very much in support of that. And so you might just be like exhausted from all of the energy work you've been doing, let alone everything that's going on in your physical life, which we know is sort of is a representation of the energetic, but we certainly experience it in the physical as well. So that is still the intention of this healing, but it is also like when I approached the pyramid, I just immediately started like releasing. So it's coming through as like a sort of a full kind of purge, a full cleanse, a full shower. You know, this came through. I've been recording a lot lately, so I can't remember. But as a kind of like being, if you were, it was in this week's trance meditation, and I'll link that below because it was really, this week's is like really, really cool. It's like opening channels of communication into the self, into the sort of like internal records of our genetics that we hold, a lot of reunion with like information and having the information kind of at the ready that you need in this next phase, because the physical is transforming so quickly, that we're all sort of stepping into new experiences, new roles, new phases of, you know, the journey. So I'll link that below if you're interested. But what was coming up in that healing was this sort of like, we do all of this energy work, we shake everything out, right? I think about it in that kind of terms a lot, especially with the sound work, right? And the tones are sound as well. It doesn't have to just be like electronic signals and circuitry. It's coming out of, you're an electric signal as well. You know, it shakes all of this out of you, awake from you. It brings it in, you intend for it to be in your awareness, and then we shake it up and bring it into the awareness. But we also need to do the part where we clear it from us, which is a dissolution of it. It's not like moving it somewhere else or like banishing it or returning to sender, which I don't recommend. It is just recognizing it as unreal. It's perceiving the false as false so that it just disappears from you. We think about this in quantum entanglement, right? It's only real to us when we are investing our attention into it. Without that, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't exist for you. And so removing fear is the same. Once we are able to recognize that fear is not real, it is an idea that we had, then when we no longer want it, when it is no longer meaningful to us, when we understand it's not useful and it's counterproductive to our goal, which is peace, which is freedom, which is release from the dream, or at least to remember we're dreaming, right? And to dream a better dream for everybody. That is when it is truly removed from us. You can't still want it. It can't still have value to you and also be removed. It doesn't work like that. So you really have to question what it is that you truly still want. That's on some level, in some level of you, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, is clinging to what you think you don't want. So that's really what all of the work is about, to reveal that from us at all of these different levels. So the goal of these healings is sort of always the same, but this is really coming through as like a lightness, as an assistance in peace, as an assistance in like not feeling so weighed down by what's going on, and be an assistance in holding your center so that you can feel joy. And I wrote about this a little bit in the newsletter this week. No matter what's going on, it's not the situation that is dependent. Your peace is not dependent on the situation. Your happiness is not dependent on the situation. You have everything you need to be happy in this moment. And that is the will of Source. That is the will of God for you, is that you remember this, is that you are happy so that you function as you were meant to, which is ever extending, not inverting and looping in on itself in fear. So we open to that now. And to understand also, this is a message that came through earlier when I was sort of free writing this morning. You know, when you ask, you're always given, but Spirit's not going to beat down your door with your miracle if you refuse to see it. It's not going to negate the power of your mind. It will not negate your choice of your seeing. So the miracle is always there. Once you've asked for it, you are given it. But if you don't believe that, if you have a block to receiving that because you don't believe that you're worthy of receiving it or it's possible for you to receive it, then you won't see it. So we want to remove those blocks to seeing. We want to remove those blocks to receiving what we have asked for. And removing the attachment to the specific way that it comes through. It's the feeling, right? We want to let go of the attachments to physical circumstance, to narrative stories, to how we think we want things to happen, the mechanics of it, and really just be in the feeling of what it is, in the internal experience, so that we can understand that it is the internal experience that is projecting the external experience that we see in front of us. And this is to calm the mind. This is to ease the mind. We are concerning ourselves with a whole lot that is not our business to be concerned with. We're trying to do things that Spirit is saying, no, this isn't what we're asking you. You're taking too much in your hands. You don't know what you're doing. Give it to the self that knows, understanding that that's not a defeat. You haven't done anything wrong. You're doing what your highest self is guiding you to do, which is just relax. Understand that your ego can't change this. And give way to the self that knows. Give way to Spirit that wants to show you that you are always taken care of, that you are always provided for, but at some level you're not letting it. So we want to let it. So you can imagine yourself just as ever you like to imagine yourself when you connect to Spirit. Bring yourself into that presence, see, sense, feel it. How this comes forward is completely unique to each individual. Some people see the same things, some people don't. Some people don't see anything. So don't concern yourself so much with what it looks like, but the peace that you extend yourself into. Remember, the Holy Spirit doesn't have eyes. It doesn't have eyeballs. So it needs to use yours. You have to let it. Kitasota muntu arrehisno shana katikana wayatoshonso indiritishi sanantosidit. That is your choice. Hierakontis nainsiot. Will you see with the eyes of Spirit, or will you continue to insist on seeing only what the body's eyes see? Hinindayas nushara korwitis. Will you allow Spirit to enlighten your vision, or will you refuse because you still have evidence of darkness? Kinandoroyas ninto kantipaos no sonta manti kanindia. Sayayutu arraisni en shindia to korwitas dorot. Uarindis nindrihinso ayos oruinditianto aosuncho ay kayana. Hinindariusion son shandayas. Sayasoti bishoro itayon. Hiondo hininto aoshonondo yasiti. It's coming through as like fatigue from placing your energy in sort of the wrong place, like in tuckering yourself out by trying to change things that aren't yours to change. Your effort should be in your mind, changing your mind, reflecting on your thoughts and tracing where your thoughts are stemming from, what belief is making those thoughts, and why do you listen to them? What is it that you believe? That is your work. And then allow, in the presence of Spirit, for that belief to be changed, because beliefs can be changed. And if you're sort of new to the sort of more mystical explanations of this or pathways of this. Dr. Gabor Mate talks about this a lot, the belief being a choice. You can change your belief, and you can do it with these circumstances that you don't even have to like go and nitpick everything that happened to you when you were a child. You can use the circumstances that you're in, that you find yourself in this moment. So he is a psychiatrist. I really enjoy his work and his manner. He's very peaceful. That might be helpful to you as well. Horaistia no shamanti kanandi siti otondi posh aratos hindi son chabao son chiriitis. Very powerful for like trauma healing, when we understand that, you know, a lot of what modern medicine has claimed as disease is really just a coping mechanism to sort of make up for not having what I would call the connection to the divine, right? The connection to the eternal. It is the connection to love, right? Of course, we live very unnaturally, and it is painful to us because we don't live the way that we are intended to live. That's why we call it coming home, a return to self, self-meeting self. Hiataos doarin, mataisio shoruitiun naoto, oruitius un tushinindiri korkuitus uncho iaya kunindrihitid. And sometimes it's just interacting with that idea, right? It's something you hear in one of these videos. It's something you read. It's something you hear in another video. Something you hear somebody say, an overheard conversation, anything, right? Sometimes it's just hearing that. It's just being brought into that energetic field of that idea, which shakes the stagnancy, which brings forth that which was hidden. Understand, when you have intended to heal, you will be given opportunities, but it is up to you to see them where they are, which is everywhere. And it doesn't necessarily require years and years and years of digging. It requires understanding that that could be shaken from you if you gave it the opportunity in any moment or situation. Don't stick it into just specific ways of healing, specific ways of bringing what the hidden beliefs you have are. Every thought that you think is a doorway into what you believe. And that can be awoken from you in any circumstance when you open yourself to the possibility that that is the way that it works. And that is another way of opening up to and understanding the way of like true open communication and the unified field, right? That it's all speaking back to you because you have spoken to it, and it could not but, because it is all you. It's like learning how to listen and then remembering how to communicate with spirit. But it's not a special gift. It's everywhere and it's for everyone, and it's not something that necessarily needs to be achieved. It's what you need to let go of that's in the way of it. It's not achieving. That's there always. It's there always for everyone. You are worthy of it right now. There's nothing you need to do to be worthy of what you are. You are this. It's up to you to accept what you are. But you are worthy of it in all moments. There are no tests that need to be done. There's no mountain you need to climb. You must just let yourself be still and be shown what you are by the self that knows, that wants you home because you don't remember love and it's trying to speak to you. It is speaking to you. It's trying to get you to listen. Let yourself be still. It's not about doing. It's about being still and understanding where this information is coming from inside the self. While you're running around believing that there are things outside of you, you're not going to really understand where it's coming from. It's coming from you because you asked for it. And God gives truly. God has left, the answer to your problem is always given. It's always that there is no problem because you've never left your source. Hiritas nun dor indatis. It's inside. You don't have to go searching everywhere. It's inside you. The answer is in. Kinin dor bishnun tais. And then only when you can accept that the answer is within will you see it reflected without. Horruipas nun orruitis. You have to change the direction of the current. Hita korruitas nushinin diokonimian santois. And this is within your power to do. Hiata korruitas nushaman satita. Hina oya pon sunchur quimpatiet. Hiusushuyuntam dait. Omison yut uyuhiarat. Arayat oruyonchu ayosonduikoa. Huruatinti, uruiti, uruihinindua payoshua. Hutuis duasnush. Hion yotoa iso ashoroi. Hiatosotaba. Hurri payon. Hinanto konto arita. Sorruitia raition to konto shamansatas noat. Sayashunon ti ayakin Andreas. What's coming up now is like it's feeling like it's in the higher heart and sort of the throat, this kind of place, if you feel that in your body, like this adversarial energy of defense and attack. This comes through a lot because this is sort of what the ego is based on. But it's not just this sort of idea of speaking your truth, but it is like letting go of the worry about what you're gonna say, or like making plans or scripting out like what you would say. Like this is another part of this like open communication pathway where it's like you don't have to worry about that when you are open from yourself, because the self that knows is directing. You've changed the current for the information to be coming from that way. You're not going to be like caught out and not know what to do when you are confronted with situations that you think that you're sort of, unconsciously starting to defend yourself and protect yourself from, and feel like you need to be able to like spar or whatever. You have to let go of that tension. You are not in danger. Hiabayo konima daisin chininda taoto corritos oshikinatayas. Sayashana indato son chapatro ita conandate antaya son joporitiat. Hinandasia shoari indias no sonto anikana nzaro to shoroatas nit. What's really coming forward to purge, like it's like right at the tip here, it's ready to like expel out, is this belief that the world is real. It's real in our experience because we've made it, and what we believe is real to us. But it's not real in the sense of the unchanging eternal beingness that we are. And when you take these steps in your mind training to correct the current, right, of spirit to form, you can only do that. That is what shows you, right? That's how you start to understand that the world is something you've made. It doesn't exist from its own side. While you believe that it exists from your own side, you're going to still be participating in this attack and defend sort of complex because it seems dangerous. It's only God that can show you that you're not in danger. Source, creation, whatever word you use, the field, the eternal beingness, Ishtar, whatever you like. Araya toru tati kantaotua, shoru histaios ushoruitayan. And then whenever situation you find yourself in, there are no accidents. Wherever you find yourself, you then can open yourself to the communication of understanding why you're there instead of railing in resistance against it. You can see it all as opportunities to meet yourself in others, to meet the one life, to rejoice in the fact that you could meet more life, that you're meeting yourself. What an incredible opportunity to meet all of the rest of the suns in the field. Every living being, every living being, not just other people. Then it turns into a beautiful opportunity to recognize and expand life, rather than to be like, this isn't what I wanted. You know? How joyous it is that I can be here to extend life. Yatakorritas no shitindrit. Soya shendison tokayamba orruita o shorruhinat. Yasurwi tayayor ayasu yun shorwipa undu. Hindayas ayak orayas on naoshaisia. Tuarwin hutuyut orwindishi. Sayos urwata, sayot unchitis nati, hinari, yayos urruhita kundu apshi. Suntuyoto I orru ioyot orru ina, hinara, yanara, naratua, shori isya, torruin daunsui. Suyashun nos noeshoi, hioyo porruin, Hyondor biosun choisi kindo indayasi, san chinindrias non tot. This is very deeply held, but there is a kind of sort of hierarchical food chain kind of idea that's coming forward to be like equalized. Like, you know, the hubris of humanity thinking it is supreme above all life on earth. And then also this sort of spiritual New Agey kind of idea of human beings being very low on the totem pole in terms of like consciousness beings. This is not useful. This is not useful. All life must be equated as one life, to be truly seen as it is. You can't see yourself as you are unless you see yourself as all things, as the all. She won't see that while you hold ideas of hierarchy. Hiratosi. Are there bridges of assistance from energies that can see from more expanded levels? Yes, but they are not better, and they don't want your praise. They want you to praise for yourself as a being of God. All creation is praise of the one which you are. If you're not accepting that for yourself, you're missing the point. This is for you to light up as the sun that you are. This is for you to recognize your own light, to accept your own holiness. You must accept your holiness. You must see yourself as the sacred being. Or else you won't recognize that in anything. Take the blindfold off of your eyes for yourself, for how you see yourself now. Hinantoson chono insa, shontu auri shniambi sikinindi sananchin santo, horruitiasto ishnam batakaratus. Santishininto compo antatis nandrihi nindiditi atias sopi anto conumbo shonon troat. Forgiveness comes through here, through the narrative stories of time, of beings that have conquered colonialism, threats, war, genocides, all of the horrible things that people have enacted onto other people. We need to bring forgiveness through in order to see this in the truth of what it is, which are just a bunch of mistaken identities running around and acting out of a mistaken belief in what they are. You cannot forgive and also blame. You cannot forgive and hold narratives as true when they are false. You will not release yourself while you condemn others. Santo kani tayonto anindo dibato kuntayo shunosun sonchanandias nayushikia. And how could they be freed in your sight if you refuse to see them as the holy being? Kinandosit, how would you save the world then? How would you free the world if you will still jail other beings in your belief of what they are? That is not enlightened perception. Kian sanio shansa tuko ruitas noshini disnanta hisna shanta katia karako rayo to ayipiat. Rayo soncho ansanian chiniti and dakoni bindi sin chinkinto ko ruito otoa. Royatia soncho isa in chintasnin distoa potokoni santayoki. Yapayo koni manean oruiti soncho ayo kono unsan shanta oruita sushi is disnandu. Hun mata iara orui horuiti soruitaisiash son toru it ushi sam nayasnashu suaritu in wawakuaon uaui wayan non tuufnat un tayok uapoishono ikana uakuanukuan. That's real deep. Let's take some deep breaths. Kana diatando kana dushnam diat. Sitato shamoson son jinatritis ni shindato kanai. Kini ani kanindi andokinando kuntafna shtaista. Kini urui indukim tison nion tosu hurui tuku uap uru iti hiut ur cargitos. Beautiful. Let that come out as it wants to come. Don't force it. Whew. Very, very beautiful. Good. Whew. Yeah, making more space, in a sense, you know? You're letting go of what you're holding on to. And then when you let go of what you're holding on to, you don't have to achieve to receive what's already there. What's already there is the only thing that is, which is love. Which is pure, unlimited creation for you, of you. Okay, I think we're going to end there. So just take some nice deep breaths coming back to this present moment of self. If you feel like you need to stay in meditation or you want to play it over, you should do as you feel guided. Remember to bless. When you move about in the world, a really beautiful practice in unity consciousness is to bless the world with your holiness so that you can accept your own holiness. You can feel the effects of your holiness, and you can see your holiness reflected back to you in the one life of all that is, which is moving through everything. So, yes, that's where we'll end. If you guys are into the work, please share with your friends. And I always think when people say like and subscribe that if you wanted to, you would anyway, but I might as well like and subscribe and share, and thank you for everybody who does. And I always love to hear how the work comes through for you if you feel comfortable leaving comments. So thank you so much for everybody who does. And what else? Yes, trance meditations are these recorded sort of sound and tone and quantum healings that are very intentionally created based on whatever messages are coming through for the week. They're really, really cool, and I love doing them. Recorded healings for you individually, sort of one-on-one recorded healings are available, written guidance, and then one-on-one sessions, which are live, are available for booking. And you could also do those remotely. If you didn't want to be on video, if you wanted to be in meditation, we could just be doing it at the same time. So that's all. That's my spiel. I hope you guys have a really, really beautiful day, and thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon.